And our speaker here that's coming up, I don't even want to call him a speaker, he's an artist. And he's someone that really embodies someone that marches to the tune of his own drummer. And he understands how to functionalize art, functionalize people's own art form. So guys, if we could give our presenter today at our Paralympic series, Townsend Wardlaw, a nice round of applause. Coming up, Townsend.
I don't actually like speaking. I don't do a lot of speaking. I used to. What's that?
So you're finished speaking?
You can grab dessert now. I used to do a lot of public speaking, and this was years ago. And I started having panic attacks. Like literally, was in front of a room about. I mean, I'm doing here. Good. Okay. Good. I don't know, 1,000 people, 1,500 people. And never happened before. It's like the whole world was closing in. I walked off stage in the middle of my talk. Most shameful, embarrassing thing I've ever done. Went to the room, packed my stuff, and flew home. Didn't even cash the check they sent me. But I'm here today. Rhonda asked me to speak. I was walking in a month ago to the presentation. She goes, "Hey, you want to speak next month?" I said, "No." It was never my intention to speak. I'm not part of this group, kind of for promotional aspects. I've been in EO. I was in a forum for about 3 years in Denver. Very philosophically aligned and emotionally attached to the entrepreneurial journey. I'm a recovering entrepreneur. I'll tell you about that. I go to the meetings and everything. Make sure I don't relapse. My wife laughs at my joke. I like that. And I was sitting there. I said no, and I sat down, and somewhere through the presentation, the little voice in my head said, "No, you need to say yes." And I said, "The little voice, I don't want to say yes. I want to say no." I said no, and the voice said, "No, it's yes." So I said, "I'll do it." And I want you guys to get a sense of how committed I am to being here and what we're going to do today. I got some promises to make for you in a little bit about what this is going to be. This will be unlike any conversation you've ever had, any speaker you've ever talked to. So yesterday I was in, can you see, by the way? I know I can we asked that, but it's okay. Hi, everybody. Yesterday I was in Phoenix, Arizona. I work with a coach there. His name is Steve Hardison. He's one of the most exclusive coaches in the world. These days it's $200,000 a year to work with him. That's the easy part. He requires that you meet him in person. So every 2 weeks, wherever I am in the world, I fly to Phoenix, Arizona, get my little lift over to Mesa, Arizona, spend 2 hours in this guy's office. 2 hours for 2 days, twice a month. And I'll do the rest of my life. That's how committed I am to myself and including myself, so I can come and talk to people, mostly one-on-one, but sometimes in groups, and share what I'm supposed to share. So I fly Southwest. I love Southwest, and they messed with my travel schedule. They stopped the nonstops back here to Tampa, so that was a problem. 2 weeks ago when I was flying home, my flight was delayed to Houston, almost missed my connection. So I'm thinking I got to be here today. That can't happen. I booked a backup flight. It's pretty reasonable. Well, Southwest canceled my backup flight. A couple days ago, I went to go look, and they said, "You canceled your flight." I didn't cancel my flight. They canceled it. So I booked another backup flight on United Airlines. Got to the airport, and I used FlightAware. Right? I'm taking this seriously. And they didn't want to be here a month ago. I'm here, and I'm going to be here, like here. You know what I mean? So I booked a backup flight, get to the airport, and I got FlightAware, so I see the plane that I'm going to be on coming to Houston. It's taken off, so it's on the way. No delay. We're good. I cancel my backup flight. I don't need it. 30 minutes later, there's a delay. I'm like, I don't understand. The plane was in the air. Well, they switched planes. Now the plane's coming from Long Beach. That one's delayed. Man, these guys are messing with me. So I got on the phone to a private jet broker. I had a private jet on standby to be here at my own expense. Not getting paid for this, so I can be here. He said, between 20 and 30,000. I said, I don't really care. I got that on my credit card. We'll take care of it. It'll be fine. What would you call that?
Extreme ownership.
Yeah. Call it commitment.
Yeah.
Right? Commitment is everything. Commitment creates everything. Everything that I produce in the world is created from my commitment to it. I don't get committed eventually when I have enough information. I get committed and then I start creating. And I'm in a room with a lot of people who know a lot about that, right? Anybody here have a personal guarantee on that lines of credit? Yeah, you know a lot about that. So, my last real job was in 2002, and I left to start a company. A couple of years in, I grew enough so I could be part of an entrepreneurs organization. All I've done for the last 20 years is generate revenue, sell stuff. I had a company that was teaching people how to sell, teaching companies how to sell. I shut that down in 2009. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And I've generated a lot of revenue. Now, the only thing I hate more, dislike more than speaking in public is bragging, talking about myself. But there's a guy I go see in Phoenix, Arizona, and I pay a lot of money to, who's helping see that that doesn't serve me. Because if I want to serve people, if I want to help them, they need to know who's serving them. They need to know who's sharing advice, giving them something to do, right? Because then if they don't know that, then they'll think, oh, it's just some guy in a really cool tracksuit. He probably doesn't know nothing, but nice guy. So in the last 20 years, the revenue that I've helped companies generate is in the billions, ranging from stuff that costs $200, $300, $400 to sell to stuff that's several million to sell. I am one of the top experts in the world on how to sell stuff. The wealth that I've created for founders, my clients, and the people that I've loved to serve for 20 years have almost exclusively been founders. And I love founders in the 2 million plus or minus, right, EO range, who want to get to 10, so they can, have, what do you call that? Oh yeah, exit. So the amount of money, the wealth has been created for the more than 24 exits that I've guided entrepreneurs through. Of the hundreds and hundreds of clients I've worked with, is in the hundreds of millions. Oh wait, there's more. What I really get excited about, see, I like keeping score. I'm like this really, I don't know, enlightened, neat kind of guy who also likes to make a lot of money. It's very strange. And the scoreboard that I like the most is the amount of money that has been put into the world through these founders, owners that have helped exit, and other people who are building companies that are doing good in the world, mission-driven companies. That number is currently 1.7 billion and going up. So, I know a little bit about something you guys might want to know about. Oh yeah, one more thing about myself. I've paid my entrepreneurial dues. I mean all of them. I've paid the growing your company, crashing your company, walking away from the burning wreckage after you got all the people out, the bankruptcy thing, the divorce thing, the see if I can really destroy my health incredibly quickly phase. So, I'm serious when I said I'm a recovering entrepreneur. I don't ever want to run a business again. What you guys do is incredible. I serve people that do what you do. I'm done doing it. So, one of the things you'll notice is that what I'm actually going to share with you, the thing that I'm here to convey, the information I'm here to convey is very simple. It actually won't take long. I think they said I have 30 minutes. If I was to just tell you what it is, it might take 5. It might not take that long. But one of the things I've learned, I feel like I should have a couple of asterisks, because there's lots of asterisk things I want to share. One of the things I've learned, and this would be an asterisk, like, hey, pay attention to this, even if you don't hear anything else, just hearing this would be really valuable for you, is that we think the idea and what we got to talk to somebody about is what matters. It's what's important. we think the idea is going to sell itself. What we forget is there's somebody presenting the idea, and then there's somebody listening to the idea. And that idea could be invest in my company, it could be buy my product, it could be join my team, it doesn't matter what it is. There's something we're trying to get done, and we're always in a rush to get to the, well, let me tell you what I want to get done, let me tell you what you need to know or what you should do. And we skimp, we're stingy with the part about who's making the invitation and who am I inviting. So what I just did was I created myself. I'm going to tell you something really powerful. I want you to hear it from a guy who is very powerful. Not like he needs people to think he's important or people to like him, but like when I tell you, you're going to want to hear it like it's really important. My coach has a great way of talking about this. He says, when I'm going to share with you, I want you to listen to it like you're in an airplane at like 40,000 feet, and the pilot comes on and says, ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem. I need you to listen to your flight attendants because we're going to crash. Now, my guess is everybody here would put down their phones, put down whatever they're doing and go, well, I need to pay attention. Like, when you walk onto the plane, they're talking at you, you're not paying attention then, you got the headphones on, now you're listening. So, what I'm saying are a couple things here, it gets really meta. One is, what I'm going to tell you is really important, so pay attention. More important than that, know that when you're creating with somebody, whatever you're trying to share with them is really important. And the idea that you're going to share with them is less important than how they're hearing it, how they're listening to it. And I don't just mean with their ears, right? You got to talk about who's going to be making the invitation and who do I see I'm making the invitation to. So I just gave you who's up here. I want to share with you who I think is out here. Entrepreneurs are amazing and somewhat rare, true entrepreneurs. Most people can't do what you do. I've worked with a lot of entrepreneurs in the last 20 or so years, and I've learned a couple really important things that are sort of surprising. The first thing that is most important that I've learned about you guys is nobody needs to tell you what to do. You don't need anybody to tell you what to do. Everybody's always trying to tell you what to do. Heck, the whole premise of EO is Gestalt, right? If you put 8 entrepreneurs in a room and let them tell each other what to do, we have, fist or knife fights pretty quick. Wouldn't be fun. So we don't do that, right? We use Gestalt. Well, there was this one time when right? And then maybe you listen a little bit. So nobody, right? Entrepreneurs don't need anybody to tell them what to do, ever. They know what to do. But only from where they're seeing, only what they're looking at. Right? You always know what to do from how you see it. What entrepreneurs need desperately is to be able to see the world differently, right? Which is why you talk to other people, you read books, you get lots of perspectives, you go to your forum meetings, right? You gotta see differently. So, and I want to be clear, I didn't always get this right. I used to tell entrepreneurs what to do. I'm not a saint about this. I've literally figured out a lot of stuff along the way and made every mistake possible. So this knowledge is very hard-earned. It's not like I came into the world knowing this. I used to argue with entrepreneurs, trying to get them to understand the brilliance of this idea I had or a strategy. And sometimes I even succeeded because I'm really convincing and good-looking and all those good things. But then they didn't really embrace it. They didn't really take action on it because they were always fighting against, well, that's not how it looks to me. So entrepreneurs are master creators. They don't need help with anything that they can actually see. But what they desperately need help with is seeing what they can't see. Right? And we'll talk about that in a minute. We're calling it blind spots. I've got other ways of talking about it, but the subject here is grow and exit faster by learning to see your blind spots. And that's really what it is, right? You guys will solve every problem that shows up in front of you. It would be nice if it didn't show up at the last minute, or was not a surprise, or you didn't know it was coming, or it didn't almost kill you. So, the promise I'm going to make to you guys, I got a big promise for you. I'm kind of into making promises. Is that what I share with you will change the trajectory of your company and even your personal life. Because for entrepreneurs, you guys, those things are very, very close, aren't they? They kind of bleed into each other a little bit. So this isn't just about business, although that's kind of the main topic, but as an entrepreneur who personally experienced, let's just say, some very unpleasant and expensive personal side effects of this, it would be nice if some of the blind spots that existed out of the business world you could see and do something about. This will be a many, many $million conversation if you guys are listening, but only if you're listening. What I wanted you to hear earlier was how committed I am to being here and for you to hear what I'm here to say, what I'm here to share with you. And I'm committed to taking all this time. Some people going, when's this guy going to get to the point? I'm so committed to, no, we're going to make sure everybody in here can hear it when I say it. And then you'll be like, oh, that's easy. Because it is. So the big promise is this is going to change the course of your company, but only from who you're being, how you're listening, and how you're seeing up here, right? If you see some goofy guy in a tracksuit, not sure he knows what he's talking about, well, you'll hear me one way. Or if you see somebody who's made a lot of people a lot of money, if you listen to them, you'll make more money, be able to sell your company faster, or you'll hear something different. I'll sound really brilliant, but only from how you're listening to me. Any questions on that? Told you this is going to be fun, right? So let's talk about blind spots. I want you to imagine a big pie chart. I don't like using visuals, so I'll just wave my fingers in a circle here, it's fun. Imagine a pie chart, and a pie chart is 100%, right? And this particular pie chart represents all the knowledge, all the information that exists in the entire universe. It's kind of a lot, okay? That's 100%. What percent, what slice would you imagine, would you guess, represents what we know, what any one of us knows about all there is to know? I don't have a scientific answer, so you're not going to get it wrong, but I'm curious what you think.
Really 1%.
Not much.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of information, right? And we know a lot. And we probably could even filter out, like, the stuff that we would never need to know, like, what's that planet called that's, like, at the very, very end? But, like, if we even made it, more manageable, let's just, for the sake of discussion, so we can see it on the pie chart, because otherwise it'd be too small, right? Let's just say that I know, and each of you know, 10% of all that is knowable. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be a lot. So, good job. What is the rest? What's that?
What is the rest of the knowledge?
What is the rest? What's the other 90%? Excellent answer. I love entrepreneurs. They always come with cool, fancy answers. 10% is what I know. What's the rest? What you don't know. Except not totally. Because here's the thing. What you don't know is actually divided into two categories. Some of you have heard this before, so that's good. It's not original. Nothing I say is original. I'm proud of that. There's what you know, and there's what you don't know, but there's also what you don't know, right? I know heart surgery is a thing. I don't know how to do it, but there's lots of stuff I just don't even know I don't know, right? You guys are probably involved in stuff that most people don't know they don't know about, right? That's the nature of entrepreneurs, right? That's the nature of creativity. Sort of wondering if that thing was showing up behind me, but I'm just kidding. So, what a lot of people don't really grasp is that there's what you know, what you don't know, and what you don't know you don't know. And what you don't know is always informed by what you know. I can't know I don't know something unless I know something about it. I'm trying to go slow in this and keep my nose and don't know some crack, but you get what I'm saying. Is we got a sliver that's called 10% of what you know, a sliver Let's also call it 10% called what I don't know. I can't know I don't know more than I know. That leaves us roughly 80%, which is what I don't know. We call them unknown unknowns, right? There's the known knowns, the known unknowns, and the unknown unknowns. We do like a 4-box grid. The beautiful part is that this unknown land, what I would call our blind spots, because something from the unknown unknown pops into the known unknown, and then we know we don't know it. Well, that was a blind spot until it's not. And that's where all the fun is. That's where all the opportunity is. That's where all the strategic valuation is. It's also where all the risk is. It's all the pain, all the problems. So what I'm promising you is we're going to help you have a very simple way that you'll never get blindsided. 10 minutes already. I can go a little faster. I think I'm almost done. I don't know. You'll never be blindsided again. So you see blind spots. So that was the unknown unknown. Let's put that aside. We're just going to talk about blind spots, and I think about something that appears in my way. I didn't expect it. Like, shit, now I got to deal with it. Right? Like, oh, cool, here's an opportunity. Or, oh, I think I might run out of business here pretty soon with this. So that's a blind spot, something that shows up. The beautiful thing about a blind spot is it only exists from where you're looking. A blind spot only exists from a certain point of view. Somebody else can see it just fine, right? One of my clients and a dear friend, brilliant man, he used to ask me a great, wonderful question every time we would meet. Whenever we were done, he would say, is there anything else that you see that I don't see that I should? And there always was, because I had a different point of view. So, that's a powerful question to ask, but you got to make sure who you're asking it isn't looking at it the same way you are, right? Like if I say, hey, you guys see anything different up here? I'd be asking people who all have the same point of view. I would want somebody over in the corner, right, who had a different view. And I was thinking, depending on time, we do a little exercise or something fun where I take like one of you and have you hold up some numbers and the person behind you, and it got too complicated. But the idea is very simple. Your world looks absolutely true and real from where you're looking. And if you think about it, that's the nature of why you're even in the situation you're in. The stuff you're doing, somebody else goes, well, that's not going to work. That's impossible. And you go, no, it's not. I can do it. From where you're looking. And from where you're looking, what you see is a totally different view, so you take different actions, right? Results are produced from action. When I say results, I mean money, I mean wealth, I mean hiring, I mean relationships. Everything that occurs in the world requires an action. Every action is preceded by a thought. I should do this, I shouldn't do that, I should do more of this, I shouldn't do that. And we all have a lot of thoughts, and we all have different thoughts, and all of our thoughts are created from how the world looks to us in that moment. And if you need any more proof than this, go to the gym, get on an exercise bike. You'll see 5 TVs in front of you at Planet Fitness. On the left is CNN, on the right is Fox, and there's 3 others in the middle. And you just choose your reality. And everybody who's up there believes that what they're seeing is absolutely true. And everybody thinks everybody else is crazy. Maybe they are. So, I'm going to teach you very quickly how to never get caught by a blind spot and how to change how the world occurs for you. And this will be really easy, it'll be fun, and if you remember it and you use this will literally change how you do everything in life. It's not complicated, it's very simple. In fact, you'd be like, this guy gets paid for that? Apparently. So, couple ideas. The first is, if you want to avoid a blind spot, and by that I mean, not see something that's going to kill you or miss something that could help you, if you want to avoid that, you have to remember that what you're seeing is always only real from where you're looking. It's not real for everyone. It looks different to every single person on this planet. That's really important. You have to remember that, or else none of this is going to work. The next thing you got to do is begin to develop awareness of where you're looking from. Where are you looking from? Sounds complicated. It's not. How do entrepreneurs see the world? How do you guys see the world? Possibility, opportunity, struggle, stress. I don't know, it's all different. You guys know how you look at it, but by and large, you see the world as, ooh, that's risky, I'm going to move towards it. Most people see, ooh, that's risky, I run away, right? How you're seeing the world is, where's risk? It's a way of seeing the world. That's where you're looking from. One of the ways you see the world is, I'm going to prove them wrong. That's a way of seeing the world, right? Somebody sitting next to me who sees, I'm going to prove them wrong, is going to see one thing, they're going to miss other things. Somebody goes, I don't care what anybody thinks. Right? I'm not saying one's right or wrong or good or bad. They're going to see something different and they'll take different actions. That's really important. So you guys will have to ask the question. I'll give you a couple examples of this and we can answer questions as well. But you have to learn to think, how am I seeing the world and how are the people around me seeing the world? Do they see it like I do? And guess what we love to have around us? People that see the world like we do, right? It would be nice if you had people who don't see the world like you do and think you're crazy. Because then they would help you see things you didn't see. And that doesn't mean they're right, but they'll help you see things you didn't see. And the good news is if you follow the instructions, you don't even need other people. You can always do it yourself. We have this incredible capacity to see things however we want to see them, right? I get out a pair of shoes or socks, and I think they look good, and I go to my wife and I say, do these go with it? She goes, absolutely not. I say, oh, you're right, they don't go that way at all. And I change my shoes, right? It is that simple. It's not, you don't need to make a big deal out of it. So, entrepreneurs, you guys, are used to seeing the world from a viewpoint of, these are my ideas, don't take them as like, hey, that's me, unless it is. Hard work is what gets results. That's a way of seeing the world. See, I don't see the world that way. I see going easy makes me lots of money. I'm not right, it's just a different way of seeing the world. So I find stuff that's easy to make money. I used to find things that were hard to make money. They both make money, right? Literally, I go back to 20 years, 10 years to my entrepreneurial journey. If it wasn't hard, I wasn't going to waste my time with it because only hard stuff pays off. That was a way of seeing the world. I tripped over so much money that I could have picked up because I was looking for something I had to like wrestle to the ground. It's a way of seeing the world. Not enough. Get it right. Gotta do it myself, right? One of the biggest diseases we as entrepreneurs have is this obsession with, it has to be my idea, I have to do it myself, nobody can help me. I built a company on that. Also built a leadership team, raised a family, and killed the first marriage from, it's up to me, nobody else is coming. That's how I saw the world. That's one way to see the world. That's how I see things or saw things. So here's the magical question. This is all you need to know from today. You take this, you write it down, you play with it. This will literally change everything about the rest of your life in every situation. From an acknowledgement of how I see the world, how I would be looking at it, ask the question, what would I see differently if? And I'll give you some examples, but that literally is all you need. What would I see differently if? And the implication is, I was looking from the perspective of one who, right, we'll make it simple. What would I see differently if I believed this was easy? If you're looking at a problem, literally, and I get paid a lot of money to ask people these very simple, silly questions. So, whatever you want to do with that. I'm talking to somebody and they're trying to solve something. I can see for them it looks hard. Whatever they're looking at looks hard, so they're coming up with a solution to a problem that looks hard. I ask the question, What would you see differently if you knew this was easy and you were missing something? If you knew it was easy, it was right in front of you, but you couldn't see it, but you knew it had to be there, and you looked for it. What would you see differently if you knew this was easy? What would you see if you hated this idea? Right? We're in love with our ideas. They're the greatest ideas ever. Ask yourself, what would this look like if I hated it? You're all brilliant minds. You have the power to ask these questions and look through that. It's not going to kill your idea. It's going to help you see something you wouldn't see otherwise. What would I see differently if I knew failure was certain? That's a powerful one. Whatever you're thinking of, instead of it's going to happen the way I want, it's going to be great, say, no, it's going to fail, and it's going to cost me a lot of money and time, and it might kill me. Now, what do I see? I'm still going to do it, but what would I see? What do you see looking at it? Is that my cue? Okay, almost done, 2 more. And then we'll do some Q&A. And then if you're interested, I have an invitation for you guys. I'm not pitching or selling anything, but I do have an invitation for you. What would I see if I thought this was a bad idea? And these are just examples. You can come up with all sorts of questions. Look at how do you see something? What is the stand, perspective, viewpoint, upbringing? You know, guys, as you were raised and such. What would you see if it was the opposite? That's all you have to do is ask that question. What would I see if I thought this was a bad idea? Right? What would I see if I thought this was easy? What would I see if I thought this would be fun? What would I see, this is another one that popped in my head, if I knew I was thinking too small, right? You guys are used to thinking you're thinking big, right? What I do is I sit down with entrepreneurs and all sorts of people and help them see you're actually thinking small. I just ask that simple question, and it changes everything. So, we'll do a little Q&A. If you guys have questions about this, if we have a moment, I'll create the invitation that I want to create.
First off, let's give a round of applause. All right, so I'm going to grab a question here from the audience. Townsend, I have one for you. So as entrepreneurs, when we're hyperventilating into a situation out of any recommendations on how to get some distance from that in order to ask these amazing questions to get perspective? So in the moment.
Yeah. No problem is better served by solving it from a state of stress and panic, plain and simple. So whatever you gotta do, including lie to yourself, it'll be fine. And no, that will be fine, but that's just, I mean, it's a really cardinal rule. I get calls all the time from people that are just absolutely out of their mind, stressed. All I know is we can't create anything from here. Well, all you can create is something from your stress. The problem is we're used to solving things from a state of stress, so we kind of get addicted to that and think that's part of it. It's not.
Okay, we got a question front row. Go ahead, Mike.
Thanks, Townsend. I love infographics. When I get my team together, I've got like mind maps and things we sometimes pull down, not all the time, but sometimes. Do you have any kind of mind map or meeting tools, like for a product development meeting, so you can go through these what-if perspectives? Does that exist out there? Do you have something? Suggest?
I don't. I've seen a lot of good stuff on sort of, buyer journey mapping kinds of things. Those tend to be really useful, right? So in terms of product development, it really is more like who are the various kinds of buyers, and then you're back into it. But yeah, product development is not really my superpower.
Great question.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Most of us were listening. That's why my timer went off. I was like intently listening, so I wasn't looking at my.
I love it.
I apologize about that, but
No worries.
I was in the flow. Let's give Townsend another round of applause. Thank you, Townsend.
Can I share something briefly?
Please.
So, I'm not soliciting something here. That's not why I'm here. I do want to share something because it's something that I'm supporting somebody with, and it's very powerful and it has a direct implication for you guys. So the work that I do in my world is being rolled out. I used to teach companies to sell. I'll keep this very simple. The invitation is this: there is something that is occurring with people that I know that essentially is the most powerful sales tool, sales technology, and I'm not talking technology like in a computer. I'm talking about how you prepare people for selling. My obsession for the last 20 years has been how do you help people generate more revenue? You guys generate revenue. So if you want to talk about that, hit me up. I'll share what's going on, and it goes wherever it goes. So that's it.
Awesome, thank you again. Good man. All right, so I have one last thing here, order of business. I want to welcome Brad Hubbard, National Flood Experts, and Clayton Turner, Contractor Training Center. Where are you guys? Stand up, let's stand up, please. Brand new members, let's give them a round of applause. And then we have some guests, Brenda Bliss from EO Austin. Michael, you're here with US East Bridge. Just stand up. And Mateus Dell from EO Argentina, soon to be EO Tampa Bay. Stand up. Let's give them a round of applause. So 2 things to remember. Our good friend Bart is waiting for an article from somebody. Send him the articles. I know a lot of us have written articles. Send him an article. For anyone that's looking to get involved in the blockchain industry, please let me know. I have a lot of resources in there. We're putting the first ever real estate blockchain summit down in Miami. It's an exciting space to be part of. But more importantly, come on up so we can get a group shot. Laura, any other announcements we have? Not yet, right? Okay, come on up so we can get a group shot. You know what I was talking about. Rhonda, come on, bring up the flag. Thank you, guys. It's been awesome. Make sure to meet someone you haven't met before you leave.
I'm always doing 1 foot and hit 1 foot in there. Come on down. Not yet.